All right, what's up, Chris?
What's up, Brendan? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. West Coast Hoppers beer review day, so I'm always happy.
And what episode is it?
Episode number one.
Number one. Number one. Officially number one. Tell us what is new in the world of beer.
So for what we're going to do on West Coast Hoppers is come out with a podcast or a video log once a week. We're going to focus on beer and industry news. Also, our favorite segment, our beer review challenge, head to head.
Head to head.
And then I'll probably sprinkle in some other things, but along with us tasting the beer and giving our review, we're going to give some life stories and kind of show you who we are as people.
Head to head. And also talk about the breweries a little bit.
Yes, because if it weren't for the breweries, we wouldn't have
that beer, no.
Nectar of the Gods.
That's right. Well, give us some news.
So I honestly didn't really research too much, but I saw a couple of articles. One of them we're going to post on our website very soon as our first blog article. Mexican company FEMSA sold 19 million shares of their holdings in Heineken. Guess who bought most of those shares?
Bill Gates.
I would never have guessed that you were going to get that.
It's a wild guess. Is it true?
Bill fucking Gates. Motherfucking Bill Gates.
What's the Mexican company that dropped the stock?
FEMSA, I didn't really look into it too much, but FEMSA is a very large Mexican beverage company, actually the 5th largest company in all of Mexico. So
19 million stocks?
Yeah, 19 million. And
worth how much?
The number was in euros of the article that I read. It was like 700 million euros, which equals almost $1 billion. It was
almost 1-to-1 recently, I think. Almost. It must have gone up.
I hope I'm right on that. But I shockingly looked out of my, I was doing my research and I couldn't believe it. Fucking $992 million. So basically $1 billion that Bill Gates spent on Heineken.
And Bill Gates doesn't even like beer that much.
According to a Reddit Ask Me Anything article that came out in 2018, I believe, Bill Gates did tell the interviewer that he doesn't even really enjoy beer. So,
well, maybe he just doesn't enjoy Heineken. Maybe he enjoys possibly these beers right here. That could be an option.
Possibly.
Maybe Bill Gates wants to invest in either of these two entities.
He probably doesn't like this one too much because it looks like an apple.
Actually, more like a peppercini. I think you said it before, like a happy peppercini. Yes. But it's happy. It is jolly.
Well, we'll have to say these beers later on in the episode, but got to give a little bit of a hard time to Russian River for whoever made the artwork on the Happy Hops IPA. It does indeed look like a peppercini. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like a happy hop.
Like a drunk peppercini though. Drunk and happy. Yeah, odd looking hops, but it's okay. Also, the beer is mighty small on the label. It's a very small glass of beer. So maybe at one point they'll rebrand. But all right, let's jump right in, the head-to-head segment. Tell us more about how we're going to go about this segment.
So we've constructed a rating system. It's basically a 5-point scale, but you can also go points in between. So, 4.6, 5.3, things like that. So, but we're going to rate beers on their appearance, on their taste, on their aftertaste.
Smell?
On their smell, which is going to be a little bit tough because neither Chris or I have a very good sense of smell. And
you probably shouldn't say that. It's great smell.
Great, excellent sense of smell. And very last, final, on their drinkability. So yeah, I think we should get in. Why don't you go first? What beer did you bring to the table today?
I brought the Happy Peppercini from Russian River. It's a Happy Hops IPA, right? 6.5%, 50 IBUs.
You're correct. The Happy Hops IPA from Russian River Brewing Company is an ABV of 6.5%.
I can read, yes, but it doesn't say the IBUs.
50.
50.
50 IBUs.
50 IBUs, okay. And then we have a short story, unless you have it on your laptop here too. Was originally brewed, I'm going to summarize this here real quick, but originally brewed in 1944 by Grace Brothers Brewery in Santa Rosa. And that brewery closed in 1960, in the 1960s, and they revived the happy, charming hop character who graces the front of this label. Both new and old world hop varieties, giving this beer old aromas and flavors with notes of tropical and stone fruits. So, was brewed by another brewery back in the day. They kind of brought it back. That's great, great story. I had this before. I was in Santa Rosa before. I had this beer before. Russian River has been around since when?
97.
97. Perfect. Yeah. Tell me what your beer might have in IBUs and ABV.
I will go back real quick just to say Beer Advocate rated the Happy Hops IPA at 92, which is
and
pretty
92 and 90 fucking 2. That's great.
Yeah, 92 on Beer Advocate. Untapped has it rated at by the Untapped drinker community 3.95 out of 5. So
very good,
decent. And
very
I will
good.
also say regarding label, already learning things. I was gonna say right before we got into it, no joke, that the peppercini here, or the hops, or whatever it is, does look like a drawing from like the old days. Like
so now you're thinking it's the old label, the original label.
I think that that's what they said on the description.
That makes more sense.
That's the person. Yes.
I was about to ask the marketing team at Russian River. I was like, what's going on here?
Very interesting, though, the way they saw things in the 40s. I mean, definitely.
The beers were very small in the 40s, I tell you that much. Very small glasses of beer.
Yes.
But no, I'm stoked they brought it back. Very exciting.
So on to the Revision. Revision IPA was, Revision Brewing Company was launched in 2017, and I believe that the Revision IPA was one of their first beers, if not the very first beer. But ranked a 90 on Beer Advocate, which is pretty dang close to 92.
Oh,
I'll go over to the Untapped, and they're actually rated 3.83.
So very close.
Versus 3.97 on the other one. But so the Revision IPA is also a 50 IBUs, and believe it or not, it is also a 6.5%.
Wasn't planned.
Was not planned.
Not planned.
What an incredible head-to-head.
Literally.
Yeah.
Tell us real quick, just for reference, how many ratings are we talking on each of these? Because I assume Happy Hops, just because it's been around for much longer, has a shitload more ratings. How many ratings does it actually have on Untapped?
How many ratings does it have? Happy Hops has 37,203.
37,000. What about Revision? Has to be less than 5,000.
No, 20,911.
Fucking Revision, man. That's fucking nuts.
I got a story for you after we taste it. I'm getting a little, my mouth is ready for
thirsty
some.
too.
It's thirsty. So let's dive in. I say let's go for the Revision first. We're gonna have to figure out a way to do this.
Give me a number between 1 and 2.
1.5.
Revision it is. Let's go with the Revision.
Beautiful.
All right.
Sorry about the can. We actually prefer, for whatever reason, to drink beer out of a bottle.
Perception.
Used to be possibly a flavor contamination from aluminum, but I don't think they have that anymore. We just prefer.
So right off the bat, you can look at the color and you can smell it, if you can smell. Yeah, the head on this I did poorly this time, but.
Well, it looks great. Why don't you give your assessment?
Yeah, crisp, clean look, nice color. Could be a little bit of a deeper color, I guess, but no, it's pleasing to the eye. We also, our pint glasses were provided by Jesse today. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Jesse McCloskey, we also got to thank him for our awesome logo.
Right. We pros the most.
We pros the most, yeah.
You're right, the most on the bottom.
Almost like a Pilsner color. I mean, it's like a dark...
It is a very light color, but single IPA, 6.5%. I mean,
Can barely smell shit.
Don't smell shit.
Don't smell shit. Oh, I'm gonna.
So remember, we have taste and aftertaste here, which we have had both beers before, but not to the extent that we're having it now. Also, I want to talk quickly about their design on their can.
We did forget that.
Also says World Cup beer winner here, Gold Award in 2018. American style India Pale Ale. Okay, good for you, Revision. So this came out in 2017. They won the gold medal right away the year after. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, design on the can, fairly basic. Right? Yeah, there should be another rating point here.
I was gonna say, I think appearance could also have some. Maybe we have label.
I'm telling you one thing. If we end up voting these the exact same, which is very unlikely, it will come down to the design on the label, because that should be the least of your concerns. That's the design. Don't get me wrong, there are certain beers I bought because it looked good on the shelf. That's usually marketing is part of it. So, but full transparency, Russian River, I didn't know about him until I went on the Beer Advocate's website and I saw they were highly, highly rated. And this was 2010, 2011 when I started to get into Russian River somewhere. What's the brewing capacity on both as of today? Because I didn't know the Revision is brewing any other beer outside the Sparks location. Enlighten me if I'm wrong. I know that in Santa Rosa they have their first brewing location, and then they also brew at the brand new Windsor location, which is massive. It's a massive location.
The end of 2022, Revision had brewed roughly 23,000 barrels of beer. They max out their capacity 26 to 27,000 barrels here in Sparks.
Okay.
But and Russian River is at 40,000 barrels per year.
That's both locations.
That's both locations.
As of 2022. Okay. But for only having that one location here in Sparks, that's a pretty significant amount.
Totally significant. Also, what the cool story I was going to tell you about, as mentioned before, traveling down to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, which is many miles away.
Many moons away.
From Reno. I was sitting in a tattoo shop getting a tattoo of a tequila bottle, because I also love tequila. And I was hearing them speak in Spanish, and I heard Revision Brewing Company pop out during one of the sentences, one of the phrases. And I interrupted the gentlemen that were talking so gentlemanly inside the tattoo shop in Puerto Vallarta. And I said, excuse me, did you say Revision Brewing Company is beer, cerveza? And they were like, yeah, fucking beer, and I spoke English. And couldn't believe it, way down the fucking Puerto Vallarta Revision Brewing Company, which to us, I mean, we've been in Reno apparently longer than Revision has been here.
Much longer.
Especially
you.
I feel like Revision had been here for longer than since 2017, but
I believe the owner sold Knee Deep Brewing in California. I'm hoping I'm right. Maybe people can fact check that behind the camera, but he sold Knee Deep, and read the news article when he said, hey, he's opening Revision Brewing in Sparks. He's seeing Reno as the next, one of the brewing capitals on the West Coast, at least, on the smaller scale, because I believe now we have 17 or 18 breweries here in Reno Sparks area, plus additional ones surrounding area, plus in Tahoe, Truckee and such. But yeah, 17, 18 breweries in a place that is a population of 350, 450,000 people all together, something like that's not bad. That is not bad. But tell me real quick, because now I'm curious. How many countries does Revision distribute to? /states, if you can find that.
I was going to look it up. I was going to say, yes, you're correct. Jeremy, who was a co-owner of Knee Deep, did sell or left, departed from Knee Deep and formed Revision with, I think, 4 other people. But he did do that. You're very correct on that.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the distribution. You said that people know it in Mexico. Was it someone from somewhere else who had it, or they actually sell the stuff in Mexico? Do they sell it in Europe? Do they distribute outside the States? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're rooted in Northern Nevada. Revision Brewing Company touts a hefty lineup of Toots.
Toots.
A hefty lineup of world-awarded ultra-premium beers distributed throughout 15 states in the U.S.
15.
and 8 countries around the world.
15, I expected more states.
Me too.
I expected less countries. What countries?
It doesn't have the list.
There has to be a list somewhere.
If I do some deep diving, I can probably
Do some quick deep diving because I'm very, very curious.
Where I can't get into I can't get into what countries it is because it's too long for me to deep dive. But we'll put it in the graphic. I think we'll put it in the graphic.
All right. So, what are you tasting? What are you seeing? How are you liking this?
So right off the bat, I'm gonna give it a good solid 3.7 on the Richter scale of Brandon's visual synopsis of the beer.
Visuals, okay.
I'm seeing a very clear, almost like a cold crashed lager. Clarity.
Yes, it's suspiciously clear. Suspiciously
Very
clear.
good. No hazy. Nothing hazy about this.
No, they do have a lot of hazies. This is not one of them. Full transparency. It's not supposed to be hazy. I'm sure it's filtered, so.
I feel like it enhances my vision a little bit.
It does.
Makes everything look so much better.
Oh man, women look so much better through this. What's going on?
So I'm gonna give it a pretty good score on the clarity. Where you at? On the appearance.
And again, it's very subjective. I want to see a little bit more color, but you know, let's say 3 out of 5, just to make it easy. Okay. I don't know if is anybody keeping track of the scores.
I got it right here.
You got it right here.
A 3. You're not gonna give it any points. Just
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3.7.
Okay.
Smell.
That's citrusy.
I smelled the hops right from the beginning.
I could be off. You know, this is. Also, we're not experts. We don't claim to be experts, so just bear with us.
We also hardly have a sense of smell.
What is that? The Revision is watching. It's like, what the fuck are these guys doing, man? It's not even what the fuck are they smelling. Very dry finish, in my opinion. But let's talk about the smell real quick.
Okay.
Appearance, we did that. The visuals are taken care of. What about the smell?
Right off the bat, when we smelled it the very first time, I did smell the hops. It had that almost like cannabis-y type.
You think so?
Weed smell, yeah.
You think so?
I could smell.
I would like to smell a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to have a little bit more of a smelling experience. If that's the right verbiage. I'm just not. I'm also gonna be pretty harsh on these ratings. I'm thinking IMDb harshness here for beers. That this is where I'm going. So if I'm rating some 3.5 out of 5, pretty decent. Okay, I'm just giving you my rating system here, right off the bat. Smell, I'm not gonna lie, and I smelled it when I first poured it too. Hoping for a little bit more, so I'm saying 2.7. That's not terrible, but it's also not good. 2.7 for me on the smell. What you got?
I'm gonna go with you. I've actually only given a few beers a 5 on Untapped, and I've ranked several beers on Untapped, many beers over the years, as you and I both have. But very rare do I give a 5. So my 5s and whatever's hold the same weight. I will honestly rank this just a straight up 3.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
Definitely nothing bad about the smell of it.
So appearance, we got the smell. Give me your taste, overall taste experience.
I mean, it's pleasant. It's good. I mean, I think it's a good beer. They've won some awards for a reason.
You give me taste and aftertaste because it almost goes hand in hand, but we're going to separate that a little bit.
I'd be interested to see what my Untapped ratings are on this beer from the past, but
what do you got on the taste and the aftertaste? What do you got?
3.7s across the board.
Taste 3.5 for me. Aftertaste is a very straightforward bitter finish. I mean, it's an IPA, but let's say I give it like a 2.8 on the aftertaste and a 3.5 on the taste. Okay.
2.8 on the aftertaste.
2.8 on aftertaste. And again, very subjective.
How about on the drinkability?
Drinkability, I mean, you can drink quite a few of these. Are pretty smooth. I feel like Russian River is shining on the drinkability here because all their beers are very smooth. But Drinkability, you know, I would rate it a little bit higher on my scale, like, because it's still, I mean, love IPAs, but 3.7 on the drinkability. And people might not agree with me, but I don't care. It's just it's me.
My drinkability, I'm gonna give it a 4.2. This is a very clean,
Very drinkable for you.
very drinkable. I mean, it's a 6.5 beer that kind of goes down like a 5.8, 5.9, 6% beer, somewhere around there.
Okay.
It's definitely a beer that I could buy, a 6-pack of and drink them and have a great night, no problems.
Okay.
I think it's a great beer.
Yeah, anything 4 or above is really good on my scale. 5 out of 5 don't exist for me. It's not maybe it will. All right, so we're gonna rinse the glasses. Next one.
Next one is the Russian River Brewing Company's Happy.
Next one, by the way, we rinse the glasses in case people care. We care a little bit, depending on how many we've had. We care less if we had more.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's pour that one in.
92 on Beer Advocate. 3.9 something or other on.
So also now we're comparing a 12-ounce can to a much larger size bottle.
Don't mind the pint bottles here because.
Oh, I did a good job on the head here. Great job. Great job. Here, let me match.
I don't mind the pint bottles because it's kind of like the old-fashioned milkshakes where you drink the milkshake and then there's more milkshake you can pour into your glass. You ever had that? Here's an important note. We're rocking a full-on Reno-born white kid versus a native beer country.
Not for IPAs though.
Not for IPAs.
IPAs are something people don't know about.
Did you guys have those old-fashioned milkshakes in Germany where they came in like the tin cup, and then you drink the milkshake and you pour more in there? I think it was like an American, what's that? American Graffiti. Those old style diners with actually where you live now at Rayleigh's. They used to have this, or in your neighborhood in Rayleigh's, they used to have this this diner. Can't remember what it was called. It was 50s diner, and you would walk in and it's all checkered floors.
Brandon used to go to the 50s diner. He looks good for his age. He looks good for his age. However, let's not waste any time.
Okay.
Smell and appearance, right? Smell and appearance. The look. This is more my type of look here for an IPA. Almost a little bit more on the unfiltered side. A little bit more character here, a little bit more color, okay? And that's, again, just personal preference. The smell, actually, smell with your mouth too, I guess, huh?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, let's give it I'll give it like a 3.8.
That's exactly what I ranked it, dude.
On the visual here. On the smell, they're
I thought you were talking about smell. I did rank
they're
that.
fruity. No, look, we have 7? Smell, I do 3.4. Okay, it doesn't smell as good. Man, very, very citrusy aftertaste for me, which I don't mind.
You lean towards the citrus. You like those citrus.
I like the citrusy
IPAs?
kind of hops more so than just straight bitterness for me for an IPA. But smell, I gave you 3.5, and then taste and aftertaste is very tough because I very much like the taste. But it's very fruity. I think the label said fruity. Notes. What does it say? Tropical. That's a good description. I can definitely taste it. I can taste what the peppercini looks like. I can taste, essentially, in the beer. Not as fucked up as the peppercini yet, but yes. Taste, taste and aftertaste. almost too tropical for me. Almost too tropical. I would say the taste, I would say 3.9. And again, keep in mind, right, anything above 4 for me is hard to get to in my world. But and then aftertaste, 3.6.
Drinkability.
Drinkability, I can drink this all day long. You can drink this in the summer, you can drink this in the winter. It goes down smooth. All of Russian River beers, they're doing such a good job on drinkability. It's just, it tastes so smooth. I don't know if it's the right word to use for an IPA, but you know, you're drinking 6.5% of beer. For me, Revision is going down. It feels like it's a lot more work to drink 2, 3, 4 of these. This I can have 6 bottles and I'm like, man, I can keep going, you know? So this, Russian River is doing such a great job of these. Drinkability, I would say 4.2.
You could also drink, you know, a gallon of 1% shit beer and you could drink it all day long too, but do you prefer to drink?
Well, we don't talk about shit beer on this channel. That's
just
first and foremost.
For some context though, it's not just how much can you drink on a hot day when you're thirsty? Do you prefer to drink it? Because I will tell you.
Let me rephrase that.
Let me butt in a little bit. I'll just say my Revision drinkability is a 4.2, and I'm putting this at 3.9.
Okay.
Because I would rather drink this while getting excited in a minute.
Let me rephrase it. How much can I drink of it while I still enjoy it to the fullest and I actually enjoy and like what I'm drinking? Right. How much can I truly have but still appreciate the beer? But I agree, yes, you can have a very, very light lager that might not be your cup of tea, you can drink a shitload, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it. But yes, let me rephrase that, yeah. The drinkability in terms of, is it easy to drink, but can I also drink a lot of them at a higher standard? Is that good?
The higher standard is good. Yeah, I see Tyler raise his hand over there. Well, my drinkability is my drinkability is 3.9. What's your drinkability?
4.2.
Wow, we swapped there, basically, 4.2.
And Russian River in general, it's just, it doesn't matter if it's a younger, it doesn't matter if it's the elder, Blind Pig. Obviously on the IPAs, it's the heavier ones. Because you can have like a Stone Enjoy by, it's 9.2 or 9.4%. It goes down very easy. Has all the flavor. It is 9.4%, but you can, you know, it still goes down very easy, very, very pleasant.
The judges' scorecards have come in.
Okay, let's hear.
We received an email from the beer gods.
Well, it's like deal or no deal. We need a phone here. We need a phone. We need to answer the phone. Yeah. Somebody tells us the average.
So, yes, the email has come in. We got the final scores here. It is kind of shocking.
So give us.
It was close, but
yeah. Well, it's more or less like an average overall untapped score, right? Out of 5, anywhere from 0.1, which we're talking like fucking ice, like natural ice rating, to 5.0 is the absolute best.
King of the world
absolute
beer.
Best.
Blow your hair back, blow your socks off.
Which again, you know, just full transparency, I don't think any of the beers I had, I would give a full 5 out of 5. And again, you know, maybe I want to be just surprised one day.
I've given a few 5s.
But that's in consideration if you actually rated all these individually, the look, the smell, the taste, aftertaste, and drinkability.
It kind of adds up to your average score. So on Untapped.
Remind us again, and just because it's more relatable to the Untapped score than the Beer Advocate score. What is the rating of both of these on Untapped, and what is our individual rating for these?
So the Untapped rating of Revision IPA, Revision 3.83, Happy Hops 3.95, okay? West Coast Hoppers rating for the Revision IPA 3.4, even.
3.4, okay.
Russian River Happy Hops IPA, WCH rating, number 1, 3.77.
There we go. Which is close to the Untapped score, right?
3.95, yeah.
3.77, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Again, Revision, great beer. I think you actually rated the Revision higher.
I did, yeah. I definitely brought down I can give us our individuals.
I rated the Happy Hops a little bit higher. They're both great beers. But head to head, today the winner is the fucking peppercini. The peppercini.
The Happy Peppercini. The Happy Hops IPA, which I
is
actually...
super fucking happy.
Now I feel bad about saying peppercini, knowing that it was artwork from the 40s. That's fucking cool. And props to Russian River for pulling that out. I'm sorry for what I said at the beginning. We encourage everybody to comment on our channel, write in some messages, tell us that we're fucking idiots, or give us some feedback that we would love to.
Don't drink and
to hear
drive.
from you. If you have topics you want us to cover, we are here for that.
Why don't you tell the people, whoever made it that far, which is probably not too many people, what are we gonna do this upcoming weekend?
For all 0 of you who made it to the end of this video.
Matt and Tyler will make it to the end. Please leave a like, boys.
Please leave a like. So this Saturday, March 4th in Sacramento, California is the Capital Beer Fest. Chris and I will be attending as West Coast Hoppers, along with a few of our camera crew, gonna come down and participate in this event. We're gonna walk around to several breweries, do some interviews. We're also gonna do some beer reviews and some general, promo videos for the event. Now, this event is funded by, or it's actually to help fund a very noble cause called Runnin' for Rhett. It's a 501c3 that basically tries to get the word out and raise awareness for people to change their lifestyle and to get out there and be active and healthy with your life. Really touching story about the founder from the organization Runnin' for Rhett, Randy Sievers, who unfortunately lost a son to cerebral palsy, I believe it was, 7-year-old son to this terrible illness. Started the runninforrhett.org, which basically, as I said, raises awareness and tries to get people to be out there and more fit. Now they have a beer festival. It's one of, I think, about 6 or 7 events that they put on through the whole year. But the Capital Beer Fest is a great event. So get out there. There's getting close to 120, 130 breweries that are going to be participating alongside West Coast Hoppers. We'll be there doing some interviews. And
we won't have a booth, no. We'll be running and gunning, taste testing, featuring some breweries that we like or that we have chosen fit. We can't do all 115, otherwise we would. It's 115 right now. I think they mentioned it will be up to about 125, 130 from Reno and Sparks, Nevada. Who's going to be there?
Revision Brewing Company.
Yes.
Pigeon Head Brewing Company.
Yes.
Lead Dog.
No Lead Dog, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Another brewery is bringing Lead Dog.
Oh, Mammoth. I'm sorry, Mammoth bought Lead Dog a year or 2 ago. So Mammoth, they're technically not out of Reno or Sparks, but Lead Dog that they purchased is in Reno, or Sparks for that matter. But yes, Pigeon Head, maybe Brian, John, Lucas, Robert, we'll see you there. And then our friends from Revision. With, I think, they might, Reno as fuck, Disco Ninjas. I think Disco Ninja, by the way, fantastic, one of my favorite Revision beers. But again, good job on this. Congratulations on the gold medal. And yeah, I think we're good for today.
I'll mention one last thing. Full disclosure, we really didn't pick these beers out to compete against each other. It just so happened that they were the same IBUs and the same alcohol percent. We actually had these Happy Hops IPA in our fridge for quite some time, for a couple weeks, because Russian River was just approved, or they just decided to distribute to Nevada. And then we went down across the street as Revision Brewing Company, so we grabbed an IPA, their IPA. It was by chance that we picked them today, but these beers are actually two of our favorite brewing companies. I would consider them ultra premium craft beers, both of them.
Yes.
Very good beers, even though Russian River did win in this challenge today. Revision is one of our favorite breweries and favorite beers, and world renowned.
Absolutely, 8 countries, 15 states, and some of the best hazies I have ever had, hands down. But today we chose, it's going to be the traditional Revision IPA, and maybe another episode we're going to go on the hazy, Disco Ninja, Lino as fuck, whatever it might be. No, I'm not cursing, that's what they're called.
Yes, he's merely
and the hazies are absolutely beautiful. So
head out to westcoasthoppers.tv for more information, more news and blog articles about what we're doing here. Also, we have some awesome merch which we'll be showcasing this weekend, March 4th at the Capitol Beer Fest in Sacramento, California. The event itself is from 12 to 4 if you're a VIP ticket holder. If not, it's 1 to 4. So go out there and come say hi. We'll be wearing the black jerseys with the green logos on them. Come say what's up, have a beer, give us a high five. And with that,
how can they find us on social media?
Also find us on social media. Almost every handle is at West Coast Hoppers.
Yes.
At West Coast Hoppers. So get that: Instagram, TikTok,
Facebook,
YouTube, Yo Mom's Tube. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
We can cut that out.
We should look that up. See if that's a thing. It's gonna be some porn site. I know, like. All right.
Hey, and it's over.
We'll see you next week. It's almost. But shout out to my favorite jalapeno beer I've ever had. Russian River, Great Basin Chili Beso, one of my favorite Great Basin beers. Love you, Great Basin. Oldest brewery in Northern Nevada. Prost.